Alright, so here's the video for the distance calculator. So as you can see, I already have everything filled out, and so this is the coordinates for Luanda, Africa, and Easter Island. So these are the two differences, and then in kilometers you can find out exactly how far away they are. In this case, they're 11,802 kilometers from each other. Of course, if you wanted to, you can look at the total distance. You can press the end or home keys to switch between them. But let's use something more useful for me personally. These locations I basically have nothing to do with. So instead, we're going to use the Taoyuan, or Taiwan Taoyuan, Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport. And so this particular airport has this X coordinate, and then this Y coordinate. Alright, and again, just press the home button so you can kind of get a better grasp of what you're looking at. Alright, and then from there we're going to use the San Francisco. I should have just typed in SFO. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, so San Francisco International is here. So if I were to take this flight, and if the flight were to go in a straight line, or along a great arc or great circle, which it will not, but if it were to do so, then the minimum flight path between these 2 points would be 10,481 kilometers. So it's going to be longer than that. So the flight would be longer than this because I'm doubting it's going to go along a straight arc. Now it might be faster than this because the wind at its back, given the time of year that it is. But still. So these are just ways to use this interesting distance calculator. I guess if we wanted to go one more, let's do a couple more, I guess. This is not too interesting, but Point Nemo. So Point Nemo is a famous point for being... Okay, so I can't find this on Google Maps, but just for your information, Point Nemo is an interesting place on planet Earth. It is not an island, it's just a spot in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that is so far away from any form of civilization that if you were to be in this spot, basically on some kind of cargo ship or something, other than the people on your ship, your closest point of human contact would actually be the International Space Station by 6 times. You can travel to and back from the International Space Station 6 times. To the International... Sorry, you can travel to the International Space Station... let me get the math right. You can travel to and back from the International Space Station 3 times. Front and back, back and forth 3 times before you find the closest human civilization. And even then, there would be a small island of just people that you probably wouldn't have that much in common with. So yeah, that's how remote this spot in the Pacific Ocean is. But it's not an island or anything, so it's just a spot. Now shipping lines do go through this spot, interestingly enough, or near this area. So unless if you're one of those shipping routes is coming nearby, that would basically be it. The International Space Station is much closer than anybody else, basically speaking. Anyway, so let's use New York to Los Angeles. Something a little bit familiar. Oh, I need to type in the city. New York City. How many kilometers are these two areas from each other? So, New York City is 40.69 degrees north. Well, that makes it easy to remember. And negative 74, or 74 degrees west. And then Los Angeles. .34 degrees north. Excuse me? Does that mean 118 degrees south? Oh, west. I got my coordinates mixed up. I'm like, it can't be that far south. It's above the equator. And I was continuously thinking, okay, yeah, so it's 118 degrees west. Alright, so then we can calculate, and that's a distance of 3923 kilometers. 3,923 kilometers. Basically 4,000 kilometers. Alright, and well, I guess we'll do one more. Except this time I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use these coordinates. See, that's the cool thing about this, is that you're flexible to just use these again. So I still want to use Los Angeles, but this time I want to do Oahu. No. We're going to use, where exactly is this? Laie? I think this is Laie, Hawaii. Yeah, Laie. So Laie, Hawaii, right here, which is 21 degrees north, 21.64 degrees north, and 157 degrees west. So that means it's much more closer to the eastern hemisphere line, going west, or going, what, everything is, anyway. So now we're going to recalculate this. Now this is wrong. I don't have to actually erase this, but I am going to anyway. Alright, so this is Los Angeles to Laie, and 4,000 kilometers. So that's actually about the same. So that's interesting. So New York to Los Angeles, I just learned that here. New York to Los Angeles, or New York City to Los Angeles, is basically the same distance, as just only slightly smaller in distance than Los Angeles to Hawaii. So getting Hawaii in part of U.S. soil is basically doubling, almost doubling, because you still have the whole island, but you still have the state of Maine too, and all that. So almost doubling the width of the United States. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna clear, and our mischief has been managed for the day.